Hi, and welcome. I am Jamie Tyler, your energy esthetician, and this is the Love Aligned podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking about finding yourself. We all lose ourselves in just our life, and at one point or another, it just happens to all of us. We become mothers, fathers, we have careers, we may gain weight, right? So we stop doing what we love, seeing less and less of our friends, not dancing anymore, or maybe just singing, or just being as creative as we used to be. This is hard. It does take a toll on our health in all aspects. So really our mental, emotional, physical, and even our spiritual health. And it seems like, we're just all over the place. And it really does get to us. We're just feeling at a total loss, like we don't know who we are anymore. In fact, I've been there, and we all have at one point or another. Some of the feelings I felt when I had lost myself, feelings that ultimately made me realize that I had lost who I was hopelessness. I did have some self-neglect, lack of interest in anything. I was tired all the time, just so tired. I could probably sleep all day. I didn't, but I felt like I could, right? But also, I want you to know, before I move on, it is important to note that these are also some symptoms of depression. So if you have these and other symptoms, then it is important that you go to the doctor to investigate further. Depression is nothing to be ashamed about. It is just an imbalance of hormones that needs setting right. So prioritize your mental health, and it will help all areas of your life. Moving on though, losing yourself is hard. Not knowing who you are anymore, right? Not even recognizing yourself anymore. It is important to know why we lost ourselves. What was the root cause? That way, we don't keep falling in the same cycle over and over again. Finding yourself again may seem very impossible right now, but there is hope. I have lost myself, and finding myself again felt hopeless. Believe it or not, there is hope. You can find yourself again. Why is it so important to find yourself? Right? Ask that. Finding yourself on the deepest level will radically transform your life. Finding yourself opens up your potential to truly accomplish anything you set your mind to. So, we've probably all heard this saying, or at least know the saying, you made your bed, so now you have to go lie in it, right? What happens if you lift a bed and bring it out to the curb? Would it be a lot of work? Probably, right? But now that the bed, which is your life, is in the past, it's time to make a new one. And it could be anything you want it to be, right? The sky's the limit. Other people won't understand or even care to understand why you're making a new bed. They'll wonder what was wrong with your old bed. This mentality is what causes us to lose our sense of self in the first place. Okay? So society's expectations, it's what we learn. It's their expectations that help us go down and lose ourselves. So we really need to come to the mindset and change things to not worry about what society or other people think, right? So a good first step for what to do if you feel lost in your life is make a timeline of your life. A whole timeline. It's fun. It's extremely beneficial. So list your past achievements. List your regrets and moments that stick out as these amazing moments, both positive and negative. List every major life event you can think of, right? For the negatives, consider what you gained from the experience And then for the positives, consider what felt good about them. So one thing is negative self-talk. If you're talking down to yourself, criticizing every move you make, and you're mean to yourself, before too long, your self-esteem and confidence is gone. The monkey chatter or mind chatter, whatever you call it, leaves you feeling as you have no place in life at all. Right? Not knowing your purpose in life, not feeling fulfilled enough in your life, it's common. So you're definitely not alone. Another thing is, in losing yourself, you're giving too much of yourself to other people at the expense of yourself. This is common among moms, of course, because they spend days, nights giving to their children, and then they realize that they've just self-neglected. And then they have this overwhelm, too much to do, too little time to do it. And the world and people are just moving so fast. Deadlines, to-do lists, all these things. And then another thing we get caught in doing is really listening to others and what their opinions are on what we should be doing. We place too much value on what other people think. So really, other people's opinions are none of your business, right? And it doesn't matter because they shouldn't be affecting us. So who are you? Look in the mirror. What do you see? I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror anymore. I wasn't the same person. I felt I no longer had an identity besides being a mother. All I could think is this it? I'm just a mom? Is this my entire life, right? I mean, I love being a mom. I love my children. I love taking them where they need to go and being that. But it's not all of who I am. It's just part of who I am. And I had made it all of who I am. And a lot of us do that. Moms, dads, it's all of who we are. And really, it's not, it's just a part. So we need to just write a list of all the things that make us who we are right now, in this moment, right? Whether it makes us happy or not. That doesn't matter at this point. We just want to write down everything that makes us who we are right now. And then it is important to accept who you are now before you can even move forward. So who are you now, right? Are you a mom? Are you a wife? Did you gain too much weight? You're overweight, right? Who are you? Write that down. And just remember, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter who you think you are right now or what you write down. You are worth it, and you are absolutely beautiful. So remember that. But now I want you to think about and write down everything you can think of that made you happy. Go back to that time that you remember, the time before you thought you lost yourself. For instance, for me, it was like seeing friends and hanging out with friends and going to dinner with them, right? And reading. I loved to read. I loved to write. I used to write poetry, and it was like one of my favorite things to do, just creative writing. I was skinny for sure. I hadn't had kids yet or anything. I would go dancing. I just felt free, more free than I feel now, right? So these were all of who I was, but who are you? Write them down. And then what can you bring forward into your life now, right? Look at your list and move an item that you would still like to do now to a new list. Make it a wish list. Whatever you want to call it, your dream list, your wish list. But the important thing is once you do that, once you do all that work and you write your timeline of everything and you just put that work in, it's time to now take responsibility and accept it. Okay? Taking responsibility, recognizing that you became lost, that you let yourself stay away from your true self, and then accept that it happened. It's done. It's time to get over it. There's no way to find yourself and realign perspective without accepting that you lost direction in life in the first place. But if you stay stuck in the past, that's what makes people lose their sense of self in the first place. Accepting that you're feeling lost is the first step in taking responsibility. And then realizing it, anything's possible. Just set your mind to it. And then self-acceptance. Don't confuse self-acceptance with the term self-esteem. Low, high self-esteem, low or high, no matter what it is how we feel about ourselves and our accomplishments. Self-acceptance, however, is our ability to accept negative things about ourselves. Accepting who you are is a vital step towards finding yourself, because you cannot fully know who you are until you recognize aspects about yourself that you don't even like. So don't deny the characteristics, right? So since childhood, honestly, we have all been told how people view us. And our parents may have told us, right? Friends, other adults. But we just need to accept. We don't need to worry about that anymore. Accept and move on. We all have negative characteristics about us, all of us. And we just place a heavier emphasis on them than we do anything positive about us. So we just need to identify both negative and positive. And they're both parts of who we are, and strengthen ourselves from that. Another thing that is super important is forgiving yourself for everything. Past is in the past for a reason. Whatever you have done, whatever skeletons you might have in your closet, forgive yourself for them. Your biggest critic is yourself. Honestly, the sooner you are able to let go of anything in the past, missed opportunities, past transgressions, the sooner you're going to be able to take on new opportunities. And honestly, dwelling in the past is very unhealthy. Okay, it causes someone to lose himself or herself. It hinders our progression, and it can be very dramatic when it does that. So it's just similar to forgiving people that we have grudges against, right? If we dislike someone or what they've done to us, it's just filling up valuable brain power and energy. It's unproductive. The same goes for you, right? So just love who you are 1,000%, where you are, who you are, your faults, regrets, all, just fully and completely. I realized I had given up my entire life to be a mother. And a lot of us realize that. We give up everything. Fathers, they give up a lot too. They give up a lot to become a father, right? And a lot of fathers work, so mom can stay home and take care of these precious kids. So they're losing themselves too. The problem is we do stop placing value on our own needs when this happens. And so I'm just going to leave this with you. Start making time for you. Find who you are. Make that list. Remember all positive and negative, because it's part of us, but we can change it. We can change and find who we are again by adding to our list, our dream list, our wish list, right? Being a mom, I can think of different things that I can bring into this, right? I used to be able to hang out with my friends. I used to be able to do all these things, but with kids, it's hard. So what am I going to do, right? So I'm going to move to my list, dancing. I can dance with my kids. I can sing to my kids. We can write together. You know, we can be creative together. And there's just so many other things that you can do to bring this back. bring the more positive in, let the negative flow away, and bring the positive closer. And make time for you. Thanks again for joining your energy esthetician on the Love Aligned podcast. Tune in for next week's show. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Love Aligned Podcast. You can click on the link in my bio. You can like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to ring that bell. You can also private message me if you need a remote or in-person healing. You can email me at lovealignedpodcast@gmail.com for questions as well. Have a beautiful, beautiful day and happy healing.